So I've been in here on a podcast, Marketing for Business with Scott Wilson. And so I thought, he's just done this to me. I'm going to do it back to him.
Fair enough.
Yeah. And so your amazing business, which you and I have known each other for a really long time, and your digital influence business is obviously helping lots of people here in New Zealand. I guess I want to know, if someone's watching my videos, I want to know, why did you start this business? What's the real purpose to it?
Yeah, definitely the purpose for me is, I love marketing, right? I love marketing, and I really understand the power of marketing done well for a business, right? And I was always really curious about it. I didn't go to university, so I got in. I was lucky enough to work in some really good selling environments, but then I was working for corporate marketing. And I was wasn't working. I was arguing with corporate marketing because they would spend a lot of money, right? And they wouldn't test and measure anything. And it really used to annoy me because I looked after a group of resellers throughout New Zealand. So I had business owners all around New Zealand that I would look after, and they'd have to put their money into the corporate marketing fund. That corporate marketing fund might spend $250K in a weekend, and then my guys would go to me, and there was probably about 30 of them, and say, "Oh, how did that work?" So I'd go up to the corporate marketing team and say, "How did that work?" And they'd say, "Go away." And I'm like, well, hang on. My guys have just given you a bunch of money here. I can't tell them to go away. And I really realized, it dawned on me pretty quickly that with the way that type of marketing, corporate marketing, wasn't good for, small, medium-sized businesses. And I thought, you know what, I'm going to educate myself on that. So I went over to Australia and learnt through going to a number of seminars and courses on how to do marketing for small to medium-sized businesses. And I started to bring it back, and I started to help businesses part-time. So to the point where I was earning more money part-time than I was full-time. So I was down in Wanaka, and I woke up one day hating Wanaka because I was working in a corporate job that I didn't love anymore. So I took my stick down to the side of the beach line there in Wanaka on the stones. I drew a line in the sand, and I stepped over it, and I rang my boss, and I said to him, "You know what? I'm at it. I quit." And he was like, what? You can't quit. And I said, "Mate, I'm quitting. I've had enough of this corporate marketing stuff. It doesn't work for these resellers." And he goes, "No, you're not listening to me. You can't quit." And I said, "Why?" And he goes, "Well, I'm quitting next week." And I was like, yeah, he was quitting next week, and I was supposed to get his job. And I was like, "Mate, too late. I'm out."
Yeah.
And that's where I started to realize, marketing for small to medium-sized businesses is different than corporates. You don't have the huge amounts of dollars to spend. So for me, the purpose was, and our purpose here is really clear. Our purpose is to educate, to influence, and inspire growth together. We want to work with business owners. We want to partner with them to one, educate them, but to influence them, to inspire their growth. And that's what we do.
I love that. And you touched on something before, is that you've wanted to figure it out. And I was, I'm a lifetime learner too, and I love that you went off and did that, trying to figure stuff out.
Well, I knew other people knew the answers.
That's right.
And I was like, okay, I'm not stupid. I didn't go to university, but I'm not stupid. I actually know how success leaves clues. It was one thing that was always going on in my head. And so I just went and found the right people.
Good on you. That's cool. And I love that, your business inspires growth. That's very cool. Good for them. Good for you.
Yeah.
So if, with the services that you offer, can you just quickly touch on those for me, the services you offer?
Yeah, definitely evolving as we speed into this world of AI.
Yeah.
But what we really look at is, we're a digital marketing company. We're doing a lot more systems and operations now with the likes of AI and technology, but pinned in strategy first. So I really believe you must design your marketing strategy to pick the tactics to produce the results you want. So I take everything back to strategy first thinking, right? Okay, who is your target market? What is the message that you want to get to that market, and where and how are you going to reach them? And there's a whole bunch of things that you need to do after that. But if we don't get that right to start with, I think now even more so, you must have a compelling reason why someone should do business with you. You actually need more than ever, you need the one thing that makes you king or queen. And you need to be so compelling with that you need to then have consistency of message with frequency of reach to become more relevant in the marketplace, because AI is changing the game around that too. So for us, the services are built. We have lots of tactics that we help people, but it really starts with strategy.
That's very cool. That's very cool. You were touching on some stuff there around, knowing whether you're king or queen and what. It's the same for salespeople.
Yeah.
What we were talking about before. You've got to know why someone would want to actually work with you.
You know, it's a real interesting and easy thing for people to ask for. It's who they are, where they are, what they have to offer, but why people should buy from you. Get really clear on that why. Because here's the thing, business owners can do three things. They can buy from you, they can buy from a competitor, or they can do nothing.
Yeah.
You know, and you don't want them buying from your competitor.
No, you don't. No, you definitely don't. Talk to me about your team. Like, I come in here and it's a great, vibrant environment in here that you've curated, obviously, for your digital influence business, for your podcast. Talk to me about the team. They look young, they look full of energy. How did you curate that?
Learned something really well. Once I sold my first business, I had a team and had my business owner and a business partner. And one thing I realized there is he liked to micromanage people. Yeah, he was a great guy, but he would, he always going up, what are you doing? What are you doing? What are you doing? And for me, I've always had struggle with that because I thought if you've employed good people, why do you need to keep watching what they're doing?
Get on with it.
Yeah. So for me, when I started, digital influence, because I did nothing for a while after selling, and I was like, okay, I want to start another business, but here's the things I'm going to do differently. One is I want to build a culture, and I want to build a culture around core values. So sat down and created these core values first, and then started to build people and bring them into those core values. And they weren't core values like honesty and integrity and stuff like that.
The itchy words.
Yeah, no, I was like, no, we're not having any of that like that. So, for us, one of our core values is world-class training, world-class outcomes. We actually just retired that one into the Hall of Fame because that's a given now. You must do world-class training. And we're prepared to pay, anything when it comes to training a team because that is the edge I want them to have. Be team focused is one. It's not just because it's not your job doesn't mean it's not your job.
That's right.
Being team focused. Results, not reasons, is one of our core values. I realized early on that, business owners, they actually want you to just get them the result. They don't actually want the reasons why it hasn't gone well. Sometimes, most of the other times too, they don't actually care why it went well. They just want the results. So let's not give them a long burn email about why it didn't work. Let's just go and figure it out ourselves and get them the result. Yeah. So we have 5 core values similar to that. We have 2 in the Hall of Fame that have been retired, and I started to build around that. And then people, we have stand-up meetings, and every day, 9:15, stand-up meeting, and each has a different theme. And it's interesting, when new people come in, like it might look a bit weird. But then, 3 months later, people come to me and they'll go, Scott, I know why you're doing that now. So it's building culture. It's building the young people. On Friday, we just had our, I think it's maybe the 4th or 5th time we've run it, our annual cocktail competition, organised by the team. We have a lot of fun. And young people, they want to work for, one, they got to know why they're doing stuff. And then you got to just get out of their way. And be prepared to let them make their own mistakes, but also be prepared to for them to take things in a different direction too, and celebrate that along the way. We have a really good theme for this year: Strive in 25, own it and elevate it. You got to own your own role. You got to elevate your role. Today, every month, everyone gets to vote on their own it and elevate it champion of the month. And we just had John T this morning he was picked by the team, and I read out what the team have said about, I think there was probably 5 people that he got the most votes for the month. It's all done anonymously. And then I read out what he said, or what people have said about him. And it's really cool. You can see the moments they've really owned it.
You've definitely curated something quite unique here, and I know you'll be enormously proud of it and of the team.
Totally. Oh look, we have a wins channel, and it's just so good to see some of the wins. Because here's the thing, I know if I look after the team, they'll look after the customers. They will. And that's the thing. We know. Actually, this is probably the thing that I think sets us apart too. Is we know who our customers are. They are not corporate. They are mums and dads. They are business owners that are out there doing the whacking and cracking. They're very good at what they do, but marketing is a foreign language for them. And one of the common things we get told to us all the time is, we didn't think this thing would work, but we gave it a go anyway. Because the mums and dads, and look, some of them are big business owners, they've got franchises, they're not just small companies, and some of them have internal marketing teams that my team work with too, right? So, yeah, it's pretty cool that when you get a team that actually cares. I say to some people, my team probably care more about winning than your team does, you know, and that's probably the truth, you know. So.
Cool. That's great. Hey, Scott, thank you so much. The podcast of me will be released at some point.
Yeah.
And so I'm excited to see that. And I'm really, I love what you do for, in particular, Canterbury businesses. I've seen you spotlight them on your Marketing for Business podcast. So I'd really encourage my followers to definitely check it out. There's some really inspirational stories that sit inside that. So thanks for the chat.
Yeah, and as any business owner wants to come on too, I think it's one of the strategies every business owner should be doing is getting on someone else's podcast. More than happy to have them on as a guest as well. So thanks for your time. Hey, and watch out for Di's episodes. Really, really good. Some great takeaways.
Thank you, Scott Wilson from Digital Influence.
Awesome.